Whoa, calm down.
Order!
Man, these landlords, man, they've had it up to here with tenants. And I'm trying to calm them down and saying, listen, you're not gonna win the war. And I keep trying to tell them that times are changing and things aren't going the way that you thought they would go.
We're in a different era. Get over it. Whoa!
And we just saw that in Atlanta, we have 1 in 10. 1 in 10 units are vacant.
What?
Guys, let me just explain to you how bad that is. That is a 10% vacancy. That is nuts. That's mind-blowing. That is 2 times. That went up 100% normally. And normally it's less than that, 3%. So imagine it going up 3 times, guys. 3 times than it normally does. My name is Orlando. Welcome to the channel, guys. As always, hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. Look in the description. I have real estate investing for beginners and a YouTube course. But guys, listen, let's jump into this. Landlords are dealing with vacant rentals, 1 in 10 unoccupied in Metro Atlanta. Now, we already know just in Atlanta isn't one of these places where vacancies are just everywhere, where it's a ghost town. Atlanta is a busy city, a place where a lot of people want to live, a place where you would think there's no way you would have a 10% vacancy in the city.
Never.
Well, what could make tenants think to themselves, I'm not paying this ridiculous price? Well, I'm glad you asked. It says here, the rent website Zumper says that the median rent for a 1-bedroom apartment, remember what I said, 1-bedroom apartment in Atlanta is a little more than $1,700. That's right, $1,700 for a 1-bedroom apartment. Sounds like landlords have got a little rent happy. And you know, it's no surprise to me that landlords are thinking to themselves, oh, they're holding up their fists. They remember the pandemic days when people weren't paying them rent and they were thinking to themselves, I can't wait. Wait until... They thought of wait until it's gonna turn around, and when it turns around, ooh, you're gonna get it.
Hell no.
But the one thing they didn't expect was they didn't expect you guys not to pay it. They thought they're gonna pay it. They have to pay it. What other choice do they have?
I disagree.
Well, they did realize that there were gonna be a ton. When I say a ton, I mean a lot of rental units coming onto the market, flooding the market with units after units after units. Hence, if you were in the same class, meaning if you had an A class or a B class, you would normally get beat out by a brand new unit. So the choice is a tenant renting a brand new unit at $1,800 or a slightly used 10, 15-year unit at $1,700. What do you think is gonna happen? What are they gonna choose? I think they're gonna choose the brand new one. Most apartment complexes want rent to be no more than 30% of your income, which is normal, which makes sense. That means that you likely will have to make $5,665 a month. If you break that down to a 40-hour work week, you need to make about $35 an hour to get approved for that rent. Yep, that's the video. I know, it's crazy. And guys, listen, I have these conversations with landlords all the time. And I say to them, listen, I understand that you're still holding on to the grudge of the pandemic and mortgage moratorium and people not paying you rent, and you having months and months and months where you got taken advantage of. But you got to get over that. You're holding on to something, and these tenants are living rent-free in your mind. I mean, no pun intended. But that's the truth. I mean, I'm telling these guys, and I mean, they don't find that joke really funny, but but that is the truth. You're living in the past. You have to understand, as a property owner, You have to treat this as a business. And yes, there's some things that are gonna happen that are really personal to people. And yes, there are things that are gonna happen that you have to move like a business. But a lot of these owners are still holding on to this grudge of what happened in the pandemic, and they wanna make future tenants pay for that. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you wouldn't want someone else to do that to you, so why would you do it to future tenants? That's not Joe, who didn't pay you your rent for 9 months. Is it Lisa, who just moved in? And while you will have some backstops and some things to make sure that you don't end up in that same situation, these guys are saying,
oh no, you're gonna pay $300 more. $300 more than what Joe paid.
and Lisa will get in and say, no.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
Not only is she not paying it, she can't afford it. So what happens to these units? They stay on the market for a lot longer, and most of them in this current economy aren't even getting rented. A 10% vacancy is insane, guys. It's crazy. No property owner wants that. And I tell these owners, guys, you have to treat it like a business other than treating it like this is Kill Bill. This is what a lot of the landlords are doing. They are on this revenge-seeking, money-grubbing, mission where they're washing out all of their tenants. You have to bring down the rents. You really do. Why would you, in this environment, raise the rent on a tenant $200, $100, $300? Why would you do that?
Awkward. So awkward.
You are almost guaranteeing that your tenant is gonna leave.
Fact.
I mean, just on principle. Just on principle, an individual sees their rent go up by $200. You don't think they're gonna think to themselves, do I need to be here? Yes, that's what's gonna happen, landlord. Do not, in any circumstance, think to yourself that the tenant cannot go anywhere, that the tenant does not have choices. Now, I've made videos previously about this, and I've told individuals, tenants have more options now. Tenants are now moving in with their parents, doing roommates. They have more options as far as the supply that's on the market, finding cheaper rent elsewhere. Not hard, but easily, guys. Easily. So this is the reason why I say that renters now have the power. And I'd see some of you guys might say, oh no, not in my area. It's not happening.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers, Sway.
And I once again try to tell you guys that it's a nationwide thing. Here is the data that we can actually see, guys. So I want you to take a look at this. The cities that post negative year-over-year rent growth are Las Vegas at 2.8%, Phoenix 2.6%, Austin at -1%, Seattle -0.9%, and then we see Atlanta at 0.4%, Sacramento, San Francisco, Orange County. So you can see the rents are going down. Landlords now, property owners now, you would be crazy to think that you can continue to raise rents like you did after the pandemic once everything got turned back on. These are to my landlords and property owners. You have to remember that if you're coming off of a situation where you had to evict someone, you had to get rid of someone, you are in the need of someone getting into the property so that you can get those rents, right? Charging someone $200 to $300 over the current rent just because thinking it's market rent, when that is rents for an A-class amenities building, you have to think about that. You're shooting yourself in the foot, and that unit make you lose more money because you will not be able to rent it out. And Atlanta isn't the only one that's feeling the pain. Let's take a look at some of these other areas that are seeing the same thing that Atlanta is seeing. We're just looking at Baltimore. That's 12.8% vacancy. We have Birmingham, which is 11.9%. We have Charleston and Somerville, South Carolina, 15.3% vacancy. Dallas, Fort Worth, that is 10.8%. Houston, 12.3%. Indianapolis, 10.9%. Let's look at Sarasota, 11.8%, and then Raleigh, 10.9%, guys. That should let you guys know, as a tenant, the power is in your hands. It really is, guys. There are so many units that are available, and that's not the tricky situation. The tricky situation is, what do you do when you have a flood of inventory that has to do with rental units coming onto the market, but yet you cannot rent the current ones that you currently have? And having these high vacancy rates does not help the situation. In Atlanta, it looks like it's going to be a tough summer for landlords and property owners. Guys, you gotta go in there smart. You gotta work with your tenants. You gotta figure out what is a win-win situation for yourself as the property owner and for the tenant themselves. This is the reason why videos like this are so important, guys, so that you guys can read in between the lines, know that, hey, look, in my area, rents are going down. In my area, there are a ton of rental units available, allowing me to negotiate my rent. No matter if you're looking to move or you're looking to re-sign a new lease, at least you have this information. You know where you can stand, you know what you can do and what you can get until you can get that home that you're looking for or not. This will help out everybody who's in the rental market. So as always, guys, you won't get all of your information from this one video. I need you to check this video out right here. It will help you understand financial news, get into your first rental property, and understand this crazy housing market. I promise you, the information you will get from it will be gold. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.